All right, everybody. Good morning. If you've seen this already, again, my name is Daddy, and I am learning how to law. Thank you very much for coming and watching the video. The last short that I just made, just brief explanation that this is going to be about our constitutionally protected rights. Very specifically, I'm using one of the free resources that I told you all in one of my previous videos. Again, there's at least 7 different resources that I gave you where you can look up actual legal jargon, rulings, just anything related to the legal sense. If you need something explained, this is one of the things that you can go to and it will explain it for you, okay? So, again, all of this was discussed in the previous video. Go watch that if you haven't, but here we go. So, I pulled up the Cornell Law School Legal Information Institute, okay? Again, this is available to all of us, so it's not just available to me. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, let me back up. Let me pull out my other phone. What we're going to do is I want you to look up on your phone or in your computer or your web browser, if you're using Justeel Law, if you're using the Cornell Legal Institute, right? Type this in. Okay, type in 18 USC, so that's U.S. code, subsection, or just type in section, SECTION 245, and then hit enter. And then what should pop up is, if you're in Google, it might say AI overview, but here's a brief explanation of what it is. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm super tired, guys. So I apologize if I look a little rough. But again, this is about 18 U.S. Code section 245. Specifically, I want to say that it's section B under that lists a bunch of federally protected activities. So it says stuff like, actually, let me just go into it so that way I don't give you any misinformation. So let me show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so again, this is the Cornell Law School Legal Information Institute, and what we looked up was 18 U.S. Code section 245, which is a list of federally protected activities. If you can read all of this if you want, but if you scroll down right here, very clearly it states that whether or not acting under color of law, by force or threat of force, willfully injures, intimidates, or interferes with, or attempts to injure, intimidate, or interfere with. And then it explains, basically, if a cop, if a judge, if a lawyer, if any public official acting under the color of law tries to intimidate you, harass you, get you to do something that you don't want to do, and you're doing any of these protected rights, they are breaking the law. They have violated your rights. They have lost qualified immunity, and they basically can face either jail or fines or both. Okay, so any person who is basically excuse me, any person because he is or has been, or in order to intimidate such person or any other person or any class of persons from. So basically, you cannot intimidate or keep a person from doing any of these things. Okay, voting or qualifying to vote. Okay, so in this instance, we're not dealing with that, so I'm just going to skip over that part right here. Participating in or enjoying any benefit, service, privilege, program, facility, or activity provided or administered by the United States. So when you go into a retail store, so let me just explain retail versus non-retail. Okay, if you were to walk into an Amazon site where they fulfill orders, right, where it's literally just a big warehouse, and you see big box trucks go in and back up and they unload stuff, and then they pull out, and now new trucks come in or new vans come in, and you load all the stuff that was just unloaded from the big box trucks into those vans, right, so that way they can go and get delivered, right? That is a fulfillment center. Okay, that no public access so the reason I know this is because I tried to apply for one back when I lived in Colorado, because there was literally one, like, not even, I could walk 5 minutes and I would be there. Okay, so, and that's just me walking. Okay, that's not driving. I would have been there in a minute from my house. Okay, again, the fulfillment centers, not publicly available. They have something that's like 3-4 miles down the road where you can go in and, like, let's say that my phone is a counter, right? I could stand behind the counter and I could, wait for you to come help me, and I'll basically be like, I need blah, blah, blah to be shipped out and blah, 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 okay, or it needs to go to this person by this time, by this state, right? Like, they'll take stuff from you like that, but you're not allowed to buy anything. So, like, let's say, like, right, because let's see, what I got electrical tape up here, okay? Let's say that I walked into the Amazon fulfillment center and I see the electrical tape there, right? And on Amazon website, it's $4.99. So I'm like, oh, I want that right there, right? I want that now. No, sorry, we don't do that here. We're not a retail store. We're not open to the public. You cannot buy anything that you see here. It's 100%. You have to go online and order, and then we will package that order and send it out to you. You cannot physically buy anything from us here in the store. Now, you might be able to pick up something here in the store because, you know, you went online and it's here and you can now pick it up. You can come get it. You don't have to wait for it to be delivered, right? Like, that's how a fulfillment center works, okay? Now, if you are a retail store, so something like here in Idaho and Washington, we've got Walmart, right? That's the biggest thing next to it. And then the biggest competitor that they have would be basically North 40. For those of you who don't know, they do business in Idaho, Washington, Montana, and Canada. They are essentially Walmart, but in addition to the stuff that they sell for people, they also sell stuff for animals. So animal bedding, animal feed, and like you can buy animals there. Like they have chickens and turkeys in the back that you can buy occasionally. Sometimes they don't have them depending on what time of year it is. But again, like you can buy animals and bedding and animal feed. This is a store built specifically for farmers and ranch hands, and you know, so there's lots of cowboy stuff, lots of stuff for just fishing. There's, like I said, it's basically Walmart, but Walmart now caters to not just people, but to animals as well, okay? That's the big difference out here, okay? So when you have stores like this where we are open to the public, like you can come in here and like if you want that electrical tape, yeah, it's $4.99. Any Tom, any Harry, any Nancy off the street can come in and give me $4.99 for that tape right there and walk out. They'll have a receipt and they'll have their product, right? That is a retail store. You, the public, are taking your money that you earn and you are choosing to go into said store and keep them alive, right? By giving them your money, right? Because again, that tape right there, which might be $4.99 in their store, you could order online for $3.99 and you could save $1 and have it shipped to you for free, right? Depending, right? I'm just using this as an example, right? You don't technically have to go into that store and give them the $4.99 for the electrical tape, right? Okay, so let's say that this is $4.99 at North 40, but Walmart sells this for $3.69, right? So if I wanted to save some money, I could go over there. I could save almost $1 and I can, right? Like I have that right because I'm choosing to take my money and I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to keep them afloat, right? Like whatever money I spend in your store, you get to pay your bills. You get to pay your employees, right? Like you take our money and you then you pay your people and you pay your bills and you go about your business, right? That's how a retail store works. I know this because I used to work for myself and I used to work for plenty of other people helping them run their businesses, right? So when I say that if I did not show up, right, like if you don't show up, you don't make money, right? That's what it means when you work for yourself or when you work in a capacity for someone else where you're like a manager, right? Like if you don't show up, you don't make money. Nobody gets paid and you basically lose your job because somebody hired you to make them money and you're not doing it. So I'm now going to go hire someone else to do the job that I originally hired you for, and you are not going to have a job. You're gone, right? That's how that works. Okay? That's how retail works. Okay? Like very, very basically, the only reason that I'm able to pay my bills and stay afloat is because you people walk into my store and trade your money for my product, okay? And I thank you for that from the bottom of my heart, right? That's how every store owner should be. Unfortunately, that is not how it happened, as you can tell from the last video, as you can tell from the last couple of videos. The store here in Idaho, the store in Washington State, the store in Montana, the store in Canada, they very blatantly train their people to violate the rights of anyone that walks in their store because they feel that they do not have to follow the law. Very basically, they feel that policy trumps the law, and that I will prove to you in a different video. I have their actual policies. It's not just I'm saying this because I'm upset, I'm saying this because I'm mad. It's not libel, it's not slander. They wrote this out, and this has been printed out at the very that last time they changed it was 2023, and the document that I have very specifically with the copyright stamp in the bottom says 2016. So they have not changed their policies in at least 9 years. So for the last 9 years, they've been stealing from the people who live here and the people in the area and anyone who comes to visit, right? They've been stealing their information and then selling it and sharing it with at least 16 different agencies that we did not know about, that we did not give permission to, right? Like you're doing all of this illegally, okay? So again, I apologize, that's my little rant, but this video is about your federally protected activities. And the reason that this is important, it's 9-9 by the way, for anyone who's interested in numerology. Oh, and I got a couple 9s on my, yeah, so that's 4 9s for me. Okay. Anyways, 18 U.S. Code, section 245, right? I already showed you how it says anyone acting under the color of law, right? You cannot violate people for doing these things. Okay, so again, the A was voting, B is in participating in or enjoying any benefit, service, privilege, program, facility, or activity provided or administered by, right? Applying for and enjoying employment, right? So this applies to me as well because my rights were violated during that as well. Serving or attending upon any court in connection with possible service, so jury duty, right? So that doesn't apply to us. Participating in or enjoying the benefits of any program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance, or, right? So you can't discriminate based off of these 5 reasons, but you also can't discriminate off of race, color, religion, national origin, and because he is or has been, okay, now there's additional things, okay? Enrolling in or attending any public school or public college, doesn't apply to us here. Participating in or enjoying any benefit, service, privilege, program, facility, or activity provided or administered by any state or subdivision thereof. Again, this applies in this instance right here because we are supporting your business here within the state of Idaho or Montana, or, right? So again, this does apply. Applying for or enjoying employment, right? So this does apply to me partially because I applied to the same company. They stole my info, sold it, right? All that jazz. I would not have given them any of my info had I known. We also would not be shopping at the place had I known, right? So again, they just constantly violate your rights, don't let you know, and that's why we're making the video now. Okay, so serving or attending upon any court. So again, jury duty, this doesn't count for us right now. Traveling in or using any facility or of interstate commerce, or using any vehicle, terminal, or facility of any common carrier by motor, rail, water, or air. So basically, we have the right to travel. You can't stop us from exercising that right. If you do, it's called ingress or egress, I believe. It's basically where it's a legal way of stating that they're keeping you from entering or leaving a building. But again, you have the right to travel. It can't be denied. F, enjoying the goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, or accommodations of any inn, hotel, motel, or other establishment which provides lodging or transient guests, or any restaurant, cafeteria, lunchroom, lunch counter, soda fountain, or any other facility which serves the public and which is principally engaged in selling food or beverages for consumption on the premises, or of any gasoline station, or of any motor picture house, theater, concert hall, sports arena, stadium, or any other place of exhibition or entertainment which serves the public, or of any other establishment which serves the public. So remember how I told you a retail store, the public comes in, trades their money for whatever good and service we want, and then we walk out with the receipt and the product? That literally is what I just described. So as soon as you have that receipt, right, and you can show that you are a patron of the store and that you have given the money for whatever product or service or good that store sells or offers, you are a patron of the store, you are now covered under this. This is a federally protected activity, okay? So in my instance, when a police officer shows up and I read him very specifically this federally protected activity, I read him the federal statute, and then the officer, he's a sergeant now, he was promoted in May, Sergeant Michael Top, badge 430 of the Lewiston Police Department, came out to the business, the commercial business, and over the course of, I forget how long it was specifically, but we were in the parking lot. I started the camera at roughly 3:37, and I didn't leave until it was like 5:15, 5:20, or something like that, because I remember very specifically, we had to go pick up my father-in-law at 5:30. We left at 5:20. It took us 5 minutes to get there, and we waited for 5 minutes. So 5:20 until 3:37. So 3:30 to 5:20, that's 2 hours almost. Maybe you add the 7, so that's an hour and 43 to 47 minutes, something like that. All right, so we'll just say an hour and 45 minutes is how long we were illegally detained by both the store and Sergeant Michael Top, badge 430, right? So if my math is off, again, I'm super tired. Math is my strong suit, but you know I'm tired when I can't math, okay? So I apologize if my math is off. Again, I'm tired, very, very tired. Been doing deliveries in 105, 108, 110 degree heat for like the last week, and it's taking its toll. I got another 13 hours scheduled here. I actually so yeah, I start here in another hour and 45 minutes, and I don't stop until midnight tonight. So long day ahead of us. Long, hot day ahead of us. Back to the video, sorry. So again, when you have your receipt and you can prove that you are a federally protected citizen because you are a patron of your store and I just bought something from your store, right? You cannot kick me out because I am now I'm covered under the or of any other establishment which serves the public, okay? And which is located within the premises of any of the aforesaid establishments or within the premises of which is physically located and of the aforesaid establishments and which holds itself out as serving patrons of such establishments. So basically, if you are a public place of residence and you are open to the public and you take the money from the public for their goods and services that you have in the store, you are a retail store, you are open to the public, you cannot go and kick someone out of your establishment. Unless, okay, big unless, capital UNLESS, okay, unless you have actually committed a crime, okay, so if, let's say, this is my receipt, I walk into Walmart and I go and I say, hey Walmart, I would like to buy that electrical tape for $4.99, okay, I give you $5, you give me a penny back, here's my receipt, here's the thing, right? I'm trying to walk out and now you people want to go and stop me and say, hey, you stole that, you can't do that, give that back, right? For whatever reason, you guys are going to go and harass me, you're gonna try and stop me, right? Like, I have a receipt, I have proof that it's mine, right? You're not allowed to do this, right? Again, I know this because I used to work for Walmart very briefly until, we'll just say a member of my family had we thought he was going to die. Thankfully, it was caught immediately. But very basically, a member of my family had life-threatening circumstances, needed medical care, and for basically a couple weeks, I'm thankful that I have my delivery job because I was able to work very odd hours to be able to make money, but it sucks because I was fully intending to have a lifelong career with Walmart because multiple members of my family have worked there for multiple years, and aside from the benefits, there's the fact that, well, sometimes other jobs are not hiring. Walmart might maybe possibly hire you, and if you can get on, like I said, like I would much rather have a job than not have a job and be stressing and worrying, but because of that issue, I was not able to work for Walmart. However, I'm aware of all the policies because, again, I actually was hired on for a brief instance. I read all the policies. I literally went into the store, talked with people. Like I was literally just a few hours away from actually starting and being hired on when that happened. Okay, so again, like I'm fully aware of all the policies with Walmart. Okay, so that's why when I go and I say something about Walmart, like I know from experience and I know from shopping there for basically my entire life, and I know from stuff that I've looked up, and I know from other court cases I've looked up, right? So again, if Walmart were to do this, if Walmart were to go and deny you when you're conducting a federally protected activity, the only thing that would save Walmart is if, let's say, you were doing something illegal, right? Like you went in and you took this electrical tape off of the shelf and you put it in your pocket and you walked out with it, right? Like you might have bought other stuff, right, and have a receipt for that other stuff, but you don't have a receipt for the electrical tape that you just put in your pocket and walked out with, right? So now security sees that, security stops you, security has a valid reason to go and be like, hey, you did something wrong, now we're going to call the cops, and now you're going to get in trouble, right? Like now you have just screwed yourself, right? It doesn't matter that you paid for 9 other things. The 10th thing you stuck in your pocket and you stole that, right? You committed a crime, you committed theft, you committed larceny. You have to face the punishment now for that, okay? Right. I apologize for the ramble. It's just this is my explanation to you, okay? Now, again, same exact instance, only you paid for everything and they're mistaken because they think that you stole that, but what you did is you paid for it and then you put it in your pocket. It's on your receipt, right? There's 10 items, not 9. There's all 10 items on the receipt, and now they've gone and stopped you and they've taken your stuff and they're counting and they're checking cameras and they're doing this and that, and they're holding you against your will. They're holding you against, your objections. I paid for this, let me go, right? Like, you don't have the right to do this, right? Like, they're keeping you against your will, very basically in this scenario. Like I said, you didn't do anything wrong. You were protected federally. They messed up. They're going to get in trouble. Okay? So again, that's the big difference. Unless you have actually committed a crime, you cannot be trespassed for any reason whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's the manager of the store does not like you for whatever reason, right? Like, they might not have ever met you aside from this one time, but because they think that you're harassing them or their employees, or they think that you're causing a scene and you're doing it over and over and over again, which is what Charles did in the last video, because he doesn't understand that what I'm doing is a federally protected activity and I have all the legal right to be doing exactly what it was that I was doing. So again, when you overstep your bounds, when you don't know the law, when you go and violate someone else's rights, you are going to go and you're going to face punishment for it. You're going to, in all these instances, the people who violated my wife's rights, the people who violated my rights, you committed crimes. Crimes mean you get to pay jail time, along with fines and penalties, along with punitive damages, along with emotional distress, along with anything else that the judge sees fit to go and throw at you because you were the one that committed the crime. So when Manager Mindy goes and gets in trouble, not just with the store, but with the local police here in the future, because right now they're not wanting to help, but it's okay. We're going to get some attorneys involved, and we're going to, very basically, I'm still looking for my attorney, right? I know I have a huge case, and I'm just looking for you. I'm waiting for you. I have actually foreseen I'm going to be getting a phone call here very soon, and I'm looking forward to it, because again, I know my rights were violated. I have just touched up very briefly on my experience in a previous video. I have legal background knowledge, I have medical legal background knowledge, I have cooking background and HIPAA and OSHA and all that knowledge, right? Like, I have banking, financial knowledge and the rules pertaining to all the legalities with that, right? Like, lots of legal stuff, lots of legal knowledge, right? Over the course of the last, 25 years that I've been working, right? Like, lots of law stuff up in here that they're going to try and say, oh, you don't have a degree, none of that counts. Like, I don't need a degree. I have all this experience and I have all of this to show that I know what I'm talking, right? So again, like, I know what I'm talking about, people. Like, corporate mitigation attorney, you would be amazing for this, because it's a corporate business, and they very basically, you would be the one to basically explain things to them in basic terms in a way that they would understand, and basically get them to be like, oh, we messed up. Here, take the money, please do not proceed any further, just here's some money, shh, right? That's what a settlement is. It's them paying you hush money to keep it out of the news, keep it out of the media. Please don't press charges because we know we're about to go to jail for 45 years, right? Like, I love knowing the law, right? Like I said, Article 4 of the Constitution protects you. It's the law of the land. If you're in the United States, Article 4 of the Constitution protects you. The U.S. Constitution states very specifically that identity theft is a crime at the state and the federal level. So, when I have a document proving identity theft, when I have charges proving over a felony's worth of identity theft, fraudulent charges were taken from us and from our accounts, right? And all of this started after you got our information. This one singular store got our information, right? Like, I'm able to prove it because your policies state that you build a profile without our knowledge, without our consent, and that you then sell said profile to the police, to law enforcement, to public officials, to government officials, and to others, right? Along with 12 other different agencies to go along with that. Right? Like, these government agencies do not have the legal right to know anything about us unless we commit a crime, right? So when you go out of your way to give them information that, right, they don't have the right to know, you're breaking the law. They're breaking the law. You are literally bribing a government official, which is illegal. I don't understand how you don't think that, right? I don't get how you people think that you can do this. For 9 years, you've gotten away with it, right? When I come from out of state and I notice it and I let you know about it, right? I'm trying to be nice because I don't want any kind of hassle, right? Like, I want no stress in my life. I want zero stress, right? I want a nice, happy life. I want to be chill. I am so laid back. I am cool as a cucumber, right? 99% of the time. The 1% of the time is when you poke the bear and when you force me to go and act in a way that I don't like to act. I don't like to act like this. I don't like to go and talk about legalities, right? Like, most people don't know about the stuff that I'm talking about, right? And for good reason. They are never going to have to deal with this stuff, thankfully. But for those of you watching, you know as well as I do that. So it's the same principle as a condom or a gun. I would much rather have one and not need it than need it and not have it, right? I don't have either, just so we're clear. But right, like that's the whole principle behind a condom and a gun, right? Like it's much better to have one and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? Like, so just food for thought. Again, subsection 18 U.S. Code subsection 245, federally protected activities. This video just hit 25 minutes and 25 seconds. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to cut it for now. I just wanted to let you know very basically that, again, federally protected activities means if law enforcement comes and violates your rights while you're engaged in any federally protected activity, they lose qualified immunity. They face jail time, they face fines, they face penalties, they face punitive damages, they face emotional distress, right? When an officer goes and tells you that that sounds like a federal crime, but we only handle state crime here, not federal crime. Maybe you should call somebody else, or maybe you should call the FBI, or maybe you should do this, or maybe you should do that. Maybe you should stop bothering me, right, and just go away, right? That's how the Lewiston City Police Department and the Lewiston City Attorney's Office made us feel, because it verbatim came out of their mouth. Jennifer Tangano, the City of Lewiston attorney, the records keeper, is trying to charge us $160 plus for something she says is not a FOIA fee, but it's on the paper, says very specifically that it is a FOIA fee. All the stuff that I've asked for should be free of charge, and there should be no charge, and yet she's still trying to charge $160 plus for stuff that she told me that she was going to redact anyways. So why am I going to pay you a fee for something that should be free when you're not going to give me the stuff that I requested anyways? And it even states in the paper that should you not receive everything that you want, more money will be paid, and then you can get the rest of it. I'm paraphrasing, but again, like, it's all in that document that I showed you guys already in a previous video. So again, I'm not lying about anything I'm stating. There's no libel, there's no slander. Everything that's happened to me, 100%, was recorded, and it is, if you think that the person's being a this or that, it's because they're being a this or that, right? You insert whatever remark, whatever word you want, right? I'm going to try and keep it clean for YouTube, right? But again, when somebody is being paid to do a job, and then you go out of your way to not only not do that job, but to harass people, the public, the people you're supposed to actually help, when you harass them and then tell them that, no, I'm not going to help you, right? Oh, but you still have to pay me a fee if you do want me to help you for something that should be, right? Like, all of this is illegal, right? It's extortion, it's this, it's that crime, right? Like, no. So again, I'm sorry. I apologize about the rant. Again, federally protected activity. You cannot be trespassed. You cannot be arrested if you are engaged in these federally protected activities. If you ever have been, you have had crimes committed against you. You can now go and seek damages, okay? Because you had your rights violated, right? Like that's how it has to happen. You have to have you have basic rights. Your rights have to be violated or damaged in some way, shape, or form, and then you have to take that evidence that you have of your rights being violated and present it to someone else, and then you get charges pressed, and you get to take it up legally, okay? Like, that's essentially how it works, okay? So you can't, if this can of spray went and said something that I didn't like, right? Like, we're in Walmart again, okay? Because again, they're the biggest store around here aside from North 40. We're in Walmart, and I go and I accidentally, right? I'm looking at my wife and daughter, I'm talking to them over here, and I bump shoulders with this can of spray, right? The can of spray turns to me, and they're like, psst, right? And they're like, right? Just, right? Just, okay? They haven't technically done anything wrong. They're just upset. They're just, psst, right? They're blowing off some steam, okay? They're allowed to do that, okay? What they're not allowed to do is they're not allowed to touch me. They're not allowed to touch my stuff. They're not allowed to touch my family. They're not allowed to go and, right? Like, they're not allowed to overstep, right? It's just like if you get arrested by the cops, right? And everything's going peacefully. I'm talking to you. You're talking to me. There's absolutely nothing saying that this should be escalated to a physical altercation, and then all of a sudden a cop comes and escalates it to a physical altercation. You now get to take the evidence that is on their chest cam or dash cam, present it to a judge. Judge goes and sees that, hey, this is passive. The person that you just beat up was being very passive. You went from passive to aggressive, right? You are now in trouble, right? That's police brutality. You now get you lose qualified immunity if the judge is a good judge, right? And now you get all kinds of charges on you, and this person gets a fat check. Okay, like, again, this is how things are supposed to work. It's not how it always works. That's why you're supposed to know your rights, know what the law is, so that way you can protect yourself in a situation where the people that we pay, police, city attorneys, right, government officials, right, like when we pay you to do a job and you don't do it, like, you need to be aware of what just happened, so that way you can go above their heads and go to the next person and make sure that you get the help that you seek. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry for the length. Thank you. Last little bit. Last night we got another subscriber, so we're up to 13. You guys are my future crime fighters. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. There's like roughly 60, almost 70 of you. There's, I think, like 69 specifically is what I looked up and I saw in the metrics last night. It says that you all come back and you watch my shorts, my videos. Most of you are watching both. Some of you have not seen. There's like 5% who have only seen just the shorts, and then like there's like another 90% who's seen, another 95% who's seen just the videos, and then there's a small overlap that's seen both, right? So the analytics are cool because it shows me that people are watching it on their phones, on their computers, on their tablets, on their TVs, right? Like I'm not gonna lie, I only have ever looked up YouTube on the phone and on computer. I didn't know you could look it up on TV until last night. Like, I saw my father-in-law watching YouTube on YouTube Shorts on TV, and I was like, oh wow, smart TVs are crazy. I didn't know that, you know, right? I only use mine for Netflix, very literally. That's the only button that I use on my smart TV is the Netflix button. So when I saw this other stuff, my mind was a little blown. Okay, so I apologize. Yes, I'm a little behind the times, right? I work nonstop, so. Right. But again, just, I did not know you could watch stuff on TV. I also did not know that in the metrics it shows that there's some people watching from Canada, there's some people watching from the United Kingdom, and then there's a bunch of people watching the United States, but these three areas are the main groupings where people are watching it from, and then there's like another 37% are watching from all kinds of other areas, but these are the three main ones. Okay, so again, wherever you're watching from, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for making it this far. I apologize for the ramble, but again, we're up to 13 subscribers. You all are my future crime fighters, and I appreciate you all for showing up because, again, like I said, most people do not know that you are protected by all of these constitutionally protected rights. Most people do not understand that you have all of these universally protected rights that are guaranteed to you, to your families, right? Like, most people don't know that. I have video of store managers and police officers laughing when I go and I mention our rights and my rights this and my rights that, and like, they think it's a joke. They're literally caught on camera laughing. So I'm being very literal when I say that I created this Learning How to Law channel because people think that the law is a joke. Okay, so for those of you who subscribed, the 13 of you so far, thank you. Just know that you are appreciated. And to the roughly 47 other of you who are just kind of lurking right now, like, again, just know that you are appreciated. There's mix of male female, right? Mix of anywhere from 25 to 65 plus. So I think that's amazing that, again, people from all different cultures, races, religions, right? Like social structures, financial status, right? Like people of all different levels are tuning in and watching. I thank you. Okay. To those of you who are overseas, if you can't understand me, I apologize. I don't know what to do about that. I'm sure that YouTube has a translate or Google has a translate. So if you're watching it off of Google, then I know that there are ways around that, but just know that I appreciate you for watching, and I apologize that I can't do better right now. I will figure out a way to do better for you all in the future. But again, I just thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. You do not have to show up, but you do. And just know that I appreciate you. So thank you. If you can, like the videos, share with anyone who you think might either A, like a good story, because again, this is not, I'm not fabricating any of this. This actually happened to myself, my wife, and then again to hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people within the state of Idaho, Washington State, Montana, and Canada. Okay, so I gotta go get ready for work. You all have an amazing rest of your day. Stay warm if you are in an area that is getting tons of snow and hail. And yes, there are still areas in the United States that are getting hammered with unreasonable cold and hail. It literally looks like snow. But for the rest of us who are dealing with red flag warning and don't go outside because it's extreme heat, and bring your pets inside because they'll, right, out in the heat, right, like, stay safe. Do not stay out very long. If you have to go outside, cover up, right, like, get a towel, keep it above your head, just block the sun from hitting you. Whatever you can do, just make sure that you keep your head cool, make sure you keep your neck cool, right? Do not, I know some of you don't drink water. You need to start. Stay hydrated, right? Like, if you are sweating an extra, like a lot, you are dehydrated. If you are unable to, right, I speak from a medical background now, right? If you are perspiring a ton, could be a sign of dehydration, right? Like, again, just go get some water, right? If your pee stinks, right, sign of dehydration, right? Go drink some water. If your pee is discolored, right, like real dark, real yellow, real orange, right, like, go drink some more water. You may or may not be dehydrated. That could be other things, but again, just these are some signs of dehydration, okay? If you are outside and you pass out, yes, that has happened to some people within the vicinity of us. Go inside, go get some water, go splash some water on your neck, go wet your clothes, go inside, okay? Go walk into a McDonald's, go use their facilities, just go inside, okay? Go to a public library. They're air conditioned. Go inside, right? Go drink from their water, go inside, okay? My final warning to you, do not be outside. Tons of fires around us. Literally, yesterday there was like 5 fires. I have a massive video of a massive fire, which I'll probably put that out for you guys. But again, we saw that. We were, like, let's say we're right here. We're right here. And then the next hill over, like, there's a highway in between us. The next hill over, fire just burning its way, like, completely just from one end, like from one end to the other, from top to bottom, right? Like, just complete. It was bad. Lots of crops burnt. Absolute, just complete loss. It was bad. Lots of people have been, because of the heat and because of other things. The heat has been playing a huge factor, but in Washington specifically, over the river, lots and lots of, right? So please go inside. Please stay cool. Please do not risk it, okay? It is not worth you not being here just to, I'll be fine. I can make it. Oh, I do this all the time. I don't gotta, no, okay? Like, please be careful. Have a good day.